Morning. Ooh, looks like something was digging here this morning. The quail were in here. Sometimes they like to dig holes in the dirt and sit in it, but hard to say. We didn't catch any rats last night. The traps are set. Yesterday they sprung them all, so they probably got scared, and we'll probably see them tonight, right? Hard to say. But Mr. Painter took over walk duties. I strained my back. Working out at the gym. That only happens to us older folks, right? But it is absolutely beautiful out here. And you gotta water your garden, feed your pets. Wow. And at some point I'm gonna be trimming this cat's claw back. It's never flowered. It's actually considered like a medicinal plant, but it is parasitic. I've learned from seeing some of the trees walking towards the park. But check out the figs this morning. Look at that. We're getting some nice figs on this tree. This tree never disappoints. You can't see all of them because there's so much foliage, but there are some figs sitting on in there, and believe it or not, you can actually use the leaves for tea. We harvested quite a few of those last fall. And we put them in a jar after we dried them, ground them up, use them for tea. We mix it. They don't really have a whole lot of flavor, kind of a nutty flavor, I guess. Hey, Will, good morning. There are 3 pumpkin plants here. I'm out here watering, trying to be really careful because I strained my back. Stupid things, exercise, right? And I didn't even realize it when I did it. It's one of those things where you're like, well, I didn't lean over. I didn't pick anything up. Pumpkin does really well here. Last year we got 6 baby pumpkins, and that's plenty for us. I was able to jar some, puree some, make pumpkin pie. Yeah, the pumpkin actually really liked the heat, and it's one of the few squash that actually survived our week of 120. Last year I actually had to replant all the squash except for the pumpkin after that week of 120. 120 is just too hot. Let's see if we see anything happening with these grapes. It's probably too early. Ooh, I see a leaf in there. Let's see if I gotta be careful here. I probably can't focus on it. I think I see a leaf. There we go. I don't know, can you see that? Looks green to me. Yeah, we get really, really hot summers. We've had a little bit of a reprieve. It briefly got hot here, and then it cooled off quite a bit, which was kind of nice for all of the planting we did, because you don't really want to plant when it's hot. And we didn't really predict that we were going to get hot weather in May, right? But it did happen. But I'm glad that it cooled back off a little bit, because we were able to acclimate these jujubes here. You can see these coming to life. One thing that's been a little hard for me with the jujubes, I won't be adding any extra water to those, is we planted them in containers, because those things can send roots anywhere in your yard, and where they find water, they'll grow up a whole new tree. But the only problem when you're watering in containers is you have to figure out the water flow with a bubbler, because you don't want the roots to be sitting in water either, right? Because they'll rot. But I'm very excited about these trees. I've never eaten a jujube before, but I'm looking forward to it. It'll probably take about 3 years. Look at our mullein. Look at this, it's so pretty. Mullein is a medicinal herb. What you do is you dry the leaves on it, and you can brew it in tea if you get a cough, right? Or lung congestion. But it's one of those things where if you use herbs and you also take medication, you need to be sure that there's no interactions. And it probably wouldn't be good for somebody that had any problems as far as like, oh, how do I say this? IBS. But look at our eggplant here. These ones right here are ones that we started from seed this winter. And then the ones over here that are setting eggplants on, these ones we overwintered, and we harvested our first eggplant last night. And it's got several eggplant setting on. I can't lean over to show you, unfortunately. I gotta watch that back. We got some carrots in here, doing really well. And it's remarkable too, because the rabbits ate all the tops off of them. And once we managed to get the rabbits to stay out of the yard, they started growing. And these ones right here are to seed, and I'm actually going to let them go to seed, because then that way I'll have more carrot seed, right? But soon we'll be harvesting some carrots, I think. Give them a little more time. But these eggplants that we ordered have been blooming profusely, and they're making a lot of eggplant. This is lemon balm right here. Lemon balm is a really cool medicinal herb, and you can actually just dehydrate it and use it like seasoning, or you could make lemon water with it, you know, like tea. But it's cool, it's medicinal because it actually has GABA in it, and GABA is good for relaxation. The only thing that I've heard bad about lemon balm is if you have a bad thyroid, you might want to make sure it's not contradicted for your thyroid situation if you have problems with your thyroid. Here we have a net over some peppers. There's a serrano pepper that's coming back. I had a whole bunch of peppers planted there, and something ate almost all of them. So I put some more seeds out. So hopefully we'll get some peppers. It's kind of been one of those years with everything eating everything that we're growing. More carrots. I love carrots. And carrots actually really like growing here. Like the best I've ever been able to grow carrots here. In the middle of those carrots there's a cucumber, so I hope it likes carrots. Let's see our pistachio over here. Let's see if I can look at that. It's putting on some nuts. One thing we've learned though is if you want to grow nuts, you probably need to have a few trees, because unfortunately they don't really put enough on. At least it hasn't so far. I mean, they don't put a whole lot on. Is our little fire pit? Trying to drag the hose. Oops, I have to be really careful. Here's our kumquat. Look at that. This thing is blooming. So all I did to get this to perk up, other than it got warm, is I just put a little Miracle-Gro on it. Now I use a really high quality citrus fertilizer on all our citrus, but I've noticed that the citrus actually really reacts to Miracle-Gro. I'm not saying that's the best fertilizer in the world. It's, you know, it's high produced, yes, manufactured fertilizer, but the citrus definitely perks up it. So if you're trying to get something to bloom and it's citrus, you might want to try the Miracle-Gro. But we do buy fertilizer from Star Nursery for our fruit trees, the Dr. Q brand. And this is our delicious apple that something ate all the apples off. Yep, we didn't have this one netted, so that's kind of disappointing. But oh well, that's how it goes when you're a gardener. Some spearmint. I'm a huge fan of spearmint tea. It actually tastes more minty than it does for some reason. I don't know. This is our green experiment. We're waiting to see what's going to happen with that. And that could just be my sense of taste. I think everybody that had COVID had a slight sense of taste change. The dreaded C is what we usually call it on this channel. Let's see if I can drag this hose. It's getting all tangled up on me, not cooperating, which normally I wouldn't care, but I gotta be so careful because I strain my back. That's gotta be one of the more irritating things to me. Getting a cold when I'm busy or hurting myself, right? And this is our grapefruit, and I'm trying to, congratulations, that's awesome. I get over it, but I do catch it. Not very often, thank goodness. This is our grapefruit, and something ate all but one of the buds off of it. And I'm trying to force another bloom. Its blooming season is through May. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know if it works. If not, we're just going to say, wow, we have a pretty flowering grapefruit, and maybe next year, right? We've been slowly harvesting some apples. This apple tree got hit by the rats, unfortunately. So that one looks like it's ready to be picked. As they get to size, I'm picking them. Oh yeah, well, we got 11 grapefruit last year. That tree has been really remarkable, so I'm certain that something ate them. Yeah, that dwarf ruby red grapefruit, it's not very big, but it is a producer. That literally made 11 full-size, really sweet red grapefruit. It's a fabulous tree. And this Anna apple tree has been really awesome as well. In fact, if my grafting project works with the citrus over there, you know, the alien thing in our yard, I'm probably going to try doing chip grafting of buds off of the apple tree onto the delicious apple tree once I've harvested all the apples. Because you can see that the ends of these are making a bud, right? So I'm pretty sure that's the part that you would try to chip bud graft. But this makes beautiful apples. And the one great thing about this tree is it actually wakes up early and sets on early. So usually you've harvested the apples before it gets deadly hot. Once it gets really hot here, about the only thing that tolerates having a bunch of fruit on it is the citrus or the fig. Citrus is interesting. It likes heat, but it also likes moisture too. In fact, let's go take a look at our lemon tree. Look at this. We're definitely going to get some lemons this year. These are probably the size of large grapes now, and there's quite a few of them. And it's blooming again. You can see the ones that turn yellow like that, those are going to fall off. They didn't make it. I don't know what their problem is, but there's a lot, like the most I've ever had make it. But I've been home. I'm not working this year, so I've been able to supervise all of our trees, which helps. Doesn't fix critters eating things, but it definitely helps as far as making sure things are watered. And the zucchini just really hasn't done good here. So far we only have gotten one zucchini on the other plant. So I'm thinking I might just put maybe some spaghetti squash back here. Although I think spaghetti squash really likes heat, so maybe I should put some more tomato plants back here. I don't know. I gotta think about it. If I planted tomato seeds now, we would get tomatoes on them in the fall. Tomatoes don't like, oh look at this one, it's really nice. Tomatoes don't like really high heat, so they have to be able to get some shelter. And this does get a little bit of the afternoon sun here, but for the most part, it gets shade most of the day, which is good. I mean, there's so much indirect light here. Even if you're not directly in the light, you get light. Get these beautiful lemons. I'm so happy about this. It's going to be quite a few. It's really wonderful. It takes a lot to figure out the water needs, though. I would say of all the trees that we are growing, this lemon has the highest need for water. And you can see it started blooming again after I added a little Miracle Grow. There's our zucchini that's actually making a zucchini. It's in a bag now. Some calendula. Crazy, crazy paddle cactus. You have to be strategic with the hose. It doesn't quite... Hey, have a great lunch, Will. Thanks for watching. Hose doesn't quite reach that far. And I'm happy to report that I am actually seeing some pomegranates on this back pomegranate. So the critters didn't get all of them. Let me see if I can... There you go. There's one right there. There, and another one right there. So we are getting a couple on there. And I think I saw some blooms. So hopefully it'll bloom more. This tree was actually covered with blooms. So it's possible that there could be some small pomegranates making and I just don't realize it. Anything's possible. And this is our almond. I tried grafting onto it, but I hadn't really watched enough videos when I did it, so I don't think I did a good enough job and it didn't work. So, but if I succeed with the citrus grafting project, I am probably going to try grafting plums on there. I really, really wanted to have almonds. And it's funny because a lot of people say that almond trees are high users of water. Well, I'm here to tell you this tree is not demanding for water at all. It's probably the least of all of them, except maybe the fig and the pomegranate. But yeah, it's hard to get enough nuts out of having one tree, even if they're self-pollinating. So unless you have a lot of space, oh look, we're getting another sunflower. Unless you have a lot of space, you probably just want to skip nuts. But if I can, I'm going to graft plums onto there, I think. I would love to have some plums. Oh look, here's a really nice pomegranate here. This one's doing fabulous. Yeah, nothing really bothered the ones here, but it's more exposed, right? Tomatoes back here, setting on. I've covered some of them because something was trying to eat them. Oops, I just tripped one of the rat traps that my husband has under the apple tree. Huh. Oh well. Well, that's a little update on our garden. Maybe by tomorrow I'll be able to walk the dog again. Have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.